internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. The value of XRP, as much as it's about to sound crazy, what I'm going to say is going to just keep on going up, and it's never going to look back.
The ability to use these for purposes of on-demand liquidity.
RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL.
And so on, which, Patrick, you've kind of talked about how groundbreaking that could be, but the relation between the ability to use them for that and the price that they have to have. Because like a few months ago, I spoke with Miguel Villas, the head of XRP markets at Ripple. XRP is Ripple's cryptocurrency that we've been talking about. And he said, before he could even really have that conversation with banks to encourage them to use this as an on-demand liquidity tool, the market cap needed to be much higher, the transaction volume needed to be much higher.
Could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough.
What does that imply about the price versus some of the kind of the retail use case or speculative use cases that
price is going to go up? But XRP, it's really about this very fundamental driver of demand. Yeah, I mean, if XRP is going to be inserted deeply into the financial system, the market cap has to be orders of magnitude bigger. It has to be able to support institutional flows in the orders of magnitude of trillions of dollars.
And I'm going to give you historical information in regards to how the value of XRP was moving and what it was doing. And then I'm going to go over the fact that Susan Atley and Robbie Mitchnick on this fundamental valuation framework for crypto assets completely lowballed XRP. It is disgusting. I would not be surprised if I saw these two rotting in jail for this PDF. Okay, jokes aside, you're going to say the same thing. Again, you're going to say it's a joke, but listen, it's actually crazy. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm not going to waste your time because remember what they said. They said that XRP is going to be trading around $6 when we have 191 billion in daily XRP transaction volume. This was the low estimates. And then on the high estimates, they said that XRP is going to be trading around $32 when we have a daily XRP transaction volume of $556 billion. And they only calculated this number based off of these three marketplaces. Foreign exchange, they set 5 trillion, which is like 10 trillion in 2025. Corporate payments and retail remittances. Tokenized assets aren't here. Treasuries aren't here. There is a lot not here. And here's the funny part. We're about to witness $6 and the daily XRP transaction volume is going to be nowhere near $191 billion. And that is why in today's video, you're going to understand why the value of XRP is going to have a violent move and it is about to completely shock the entire planet. And buying XRP at $60 and $50 and $30, you're done. You're out. You are not going to become rich. I'm sorry. You got to come in with at least $1 million or $2 million when XRP is at $30, $20 to really mass accumulate. And that's a fact. Okay. And this is about to get crazy. You know why? Take a look at today's metrics. $3.02 and XRP is handling $7.7 billion and 2.5, let's just say 2.6 billion XRP is being used up. Okay, that's 2.6% of the supply and $7.7 billion is $3. But they're saying XRP needed a roughly 191 billion to reach $6 in 24-hour volume. So that is absolutely insane. You know what this means, right? The price is going to keep going up, tremendously. And they lowballed XRP incredibly. So I'm going to show you some very basic outlooks here. And I'm going to use historical charts as well, because if we go back to 2018 when XRP was second and it was $3.37, let's mirror the volume. Guess what? They were doing $2.39 billion with 38.7 billion XRP in circulation. So it makes sense why today's numbers on average are $3 with 7 billion. So please try to understand that the system needs a certain float of XRP at any moment to carry whatever volume of dollars is moving across the rails that day, okay? So if the daily dollars moving through the system start multiplying, the float has to multiply, meaning the available XRP, and with the supply relatively fixed and only a fraction actively working, at any time, like, XRP is going to have a violent adjustment to handle and be available to handle that volume and the float. And this isn't, what I'm saying is not like, this is facts. I don't know what to say in terms of like, what I'm saying is like pure facts, and your time is going to play everything out for us. Okay. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below so far, but I'm going to give you guys some, diagrams here so you guys could actually take a look at it, because you got to understand that even when XRP has 80 billion in circulation, currently has 60 billion, 80 billion XRP is not a lot at all, okay? Because first, not all supply is liquid at the same time. Large portions are going to be long-term holders. Retail holds approximately less than 17 billion of the, XRP in circulation. So think about that. We have taken a huge part of this next revolution. We are a part of this. And remember, I've said this many times, and now they're saying it vocally that, we are the pioneers, and we got in before the institutions came in.
There's a couple of things that are a little bit different about this. This is the first time in our history where we've seen actually retail lead and institutional follow. But this is the first time in our history where we've seen actually retail lead and institutional follow.
And congratulations. So remember, the working float that actually handles these settlements, they need buffer time. Okay, because remember, it's going to be working with, multiple corridors, USD, Euro, JPY, and all. There's a lot that it's going to be locked into. And don't forget, tokenized treasuries and money funds. It's all going to have, the more value on chain, the higher that token price is going to be. So when you put things into step by step, let's just use the average right now. So about 7.6 billion right now gives XRP $3. So around $15 billion a day, XRP, we should see it around $6. With $38 billion in 24-hour volume, we should see XRP around $15. Because when we cross-reference these numbers with what they said back in 2018, they're way off. Meaning this valuation, like the low end for XRP could be $100 and the high end could be like $300 over here. If they actually put in bigger numbers and actually understood how, I do apologize. I'm not trying to, amazing job here. But in terms of like, if they didn't want to over leverage these numbers, right? Again, these are all by 2030. Bitcoin, they could do whatever with Bitcoin because they're not working for Bitcoin. We'll know who Bitcoin is soon, but they're not working for Bitcoin. So they're not going to, they could be bullish about Bitcoin, but not XRP. So when we see $152 billion, if we just scale this, an XRP daily transaction volume, XRP is going to be around $60. And remember, hundreds of billions per day is not unrealistic for XRP to have that in daily volume, okay? I mean, if you think that will never happen, please seek help. Like, you've looked at the real economy, right? FX moved trillions per day. You got sovereign bonds, you got tokenized money funds, treasuries, and you have all these extra cash-like instruments are already all going on chain. And those pipes need to all connect together, okay, and have a settlement asset. Nobody will be on XRP's level. As much as that sounds like I'm Hitler, but like nobody will be on. It's like mathematically and logically and what it was designed to do, XRP will dwarf the entire market when it's full, when they're fully unleashed. Okay, and that's reality. I cannot wait for it to play out. Oh my goodness! And I know some people may hate my guts, saying that will never happen. Guess what? Time will. I don't hate your guts. Okay, I hope let it. Bitcoin had the crown for a long time. Okay, so why do you even want Bitcoin there anyways? But logically and mathematically speaking, XRP is going to overtake Bitcoin 100%. I know there's going to be a lot of arguing, so I'm not going to say there's no arguing, but here it is, okay? So as soon as this whole ecosystem starts winding up, these prices that we talk about right now isn't going to be hype. Like this has to happen because remember what we talked about. The bridge must carry more weight every day. So liquidity providers can optimize their inventory. And then velocity. No, don't forget about velocity. So let me say this clearly. I'm not telling you today's 7.6 billion of flows is institutional scale. It isn't, by no means. I'm telling you that before we even get there, the math is already showing us the path. And as these flows expand, price must expand with them one for one under similar structure. And you could see past history giving us these numbers, okay? Like this is all reality, and like this is I can't believe I've never looked at it from this perspective and actually said, wow, these guys completely lowballed it and didn't take into factor what's happening right now in 2025 and what we're seeing for these volumes. And when these institutions fully engage, when tokenized treasuries, stablecoins, and cross-border payments converge on these efficient rails that they're designing, these daily flows in tens of hundreds of billions are not like your moon boy math, okay, or moon girl math. These are normal math for global finance. You don't have to agree with my timelines. You don't have to agree with my conviction, but you can't argue the mechanisms that have been put in place. And when we again compare it to going past history, like, come on, folks. Like, if you enjoyed this video so far, go ahead and smash that like button. The bridge must be sized, a big enough size to handle the amount of traffic coming through, okay? All I'm going to say is pay attention now, not when XRP's at $100. Don't come back to this video later and say, I didn't know. You knew, okay? You saw, but you let your ego get in the way. And look where we are today. We're handsomely chilling at $3. But the best part is, it's going to be much, 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 much higher than this. And the handsomely chilling is going to be at $10, $20, $30, $40. It's going to happen a lot sooner than any of us expects it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But this is monumental. I cannot believe how much they lowballed this thing. It is actually insane. We are way above these numbers in terms of, well, we're way low, but they were so conservative. Please share this video with everybody, and I hope you understand this video. Please let me know if you guys enjoyed this. But this is like a no-brainer now. I mean, this is for, like, I know XRP is going to go to $100, but like now with this, it's like, what do you say when you know something is going to happen? Like, I'm going to create something in the dictionary called 1,000%. Apparently it's not a real thing, but it could be 1,000% means something is likely going to happen because there was a signals from God. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like, let me know. But it's like, this is going to get crazy. That's all I got to say. And that is why you guys all know generational bottoms. And I want to show you guys this BNB trade, but because this is exactly what I mean by generational bottoms. BNB trade up $8,300 with $277 that I margined, and I already took $2,600 profit. Okay, I got in at not Chainlink, BNB. So BNB, I never have to close this trade, and I could take profits. I'm probably gonna take profits when it goes up to just back here again, 172. I'll take 50%. I'll walk away with give or take 4K, and then I'm gonna let that thing ride forever. Okay, but these are generational bottoms, meaning, remember, when this hockey stick curve comes, the foundation is going to be set. When institutions come with that volume, you think that volume is going to decrease? Absolutely not.
The thing with these assets, though, is they always follow a hockey stick curve, right?
Exactly.
So 5 trillion right now seems like a lot, but if you look at how liquidity begets liquidity and the growth that we're seeing in stable coins right now, once that there's a regulatory framework, you know, I think the U.S. Treasury says 2030 or something, and then a couple $1 trillion. I mean, I think it can happen sooner if Treasury decides to start putting treasuries on chain themselves, or if a couple of large FMIs decides to do whatever. These numbers are actually more achievable than one would think, as long as a specific asset class actually starts moving on chain wholesale and you get true hockey stick adoption.
Ladies and gentlemen, share this video with everybody you know in terms of your loved ones like that are sitting on the sidelines. Do not miss this opportunity. We are on the cusp. We are on the cusp of a very, very violent move. Take advantage of the deposit bonuses. Don't use your capital up front right away. Practice with it. Bitunix. Check out the deposit bonus. If you deposit $2,000, you get a $400 deposit bonus. Okay, but remember what we said in yesterday's episode. If you want to play completely safe, even go 5K leverage. Okay, not 5K leverage, but 5,000 margin with one leverage. If you put a one leverage on XRP, your liquidation price is going to be at like $1.20. To take a look, if you deposit 10,000 and you put 1,000 or 1x, so it's going to be a $20,000 trade. Over here, it'll tell your liquidation price, and it'll say like $1.20 or $1.10. And that's what I'm going to be doing. And when I open it, I will show you guys. But again, we are on the cusp. XRP is going to try to breach through the $3.10. Okay, XRP right now is having trouble at $3.10. There's a lot of sell walls, but it is holding up here. And we are about to witness in the next 24 hours, in my opinion, the blast through $3.10, or it's going to come back down. But I'm leaning towards the blasting through $3.10 and then testing the next level of support around $3.17 and onwards. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Bitunix 2-bit deposit bonuses, link in the description down below. I'll see you guys on the live that we're going to be coming. Remember, I said maybe this week or definitely by next week we're starting it. But yeah, we're gonna document this all. This is gonna be a generational, what do you want to call it? A generational gap that's about to happen. Okay, so in terms of individuals missing out on this opportunity, when XRP is at $10, listen, mass accumulation is done. Don't get triggered. It's the truth.
Your time is up, guys. Like, just get in there. The water feels good. Dip your toes in and get going. This technology is moving too fast. Like, the technology is moving too fast. Like, if you sit by the sideline for any longer, it's going to be really hard to catch up. Just get in there. Again, the water's really good. And I think you'll enjoy the ride. So, your time is up, guys. Like, just, the technology is moving too fast. Like, if you sit by the sideline for any longer, it's going to be really hard to catch up. It is my firm belief that everything can be tokenized. So,
well, I woke up this morning, check my bags on the chain. XRPL still humming while the FUD folks complain. Ripple fighting Goliath, yeah, the SSA's game. But Johnny D and Hogan, they're bringing the flame. So we salute to the rebels in suits, to the coders and hodlers wearing dusty old boots. Raise a toast to the ledger and the lawyers who bite, while Taco Stand dumps through the middle of the night. Damn, Jed, can you chill? Brad G's on the mic saying clarity now, while Shorts codes the stars with the hologram cow wash. The haters keep chirping, but the people ain't blind. This ain't some mean dream, it's the internet's spine. Regulators stalling, but the clock's ticking fast. Ripple drops the case like a baseline blast. Communities united, from Twitter to the street. We meme through the madness and never admit defeat. Yeah, we salute to the devs and the geeks, to the ledger that clears in seconds, not weeks. To D, to Hogan, to Legal Delight, and the salty old taco that just loves to spite. Hey Jed, you done yet? Or you got another dump scheduled for lunch? So here's to the warriors, the freaks, and the fans, waving salute tokens like battle flags in hand. It ain't just about coins, it's a movement, a pact. We defend what we build, and we're taking it back. Come on, salute to the ones in the fight, to the token that laughs in regulatory spite, to Schwartz, Brad, and the ones still believing, even while taco stands always leaving. One for XRP, and raise your guitar for decentralized dreams. This song's for the ledger, the truth and the proof. With a smile and a nod, we say salute.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.